that situation. I won't tell you what, but keep an eye on this channel. We'll tell you all about it. And of course, on the lighter side of the breakfast table, there is that, hands-on conversation about wood artistry. So all you want to know about working with wood, and it's not carpentry, by the way. I was reading up last time.
All right.
Nothing to do with that. So we'll have all that coming up in this package for you, as well as the headlines, those stories that made it to the front pages of the newspapers, all coming up in this package of breakfast.
Okay, so today is also International Literacy Day. Can you remember who taught you how to read?
My teacher, I presume.
Remember the name?
Nope.
Oh, you forgot.
Too early in the day.
Me too, I forgot. But I'm just wondering what you're reading, because I'm reading this great book. It's by Barbara Walters. It's called Audition. She's like a pioneer in the world of broadcasting.
Okay.
One of the first female broadcasters to do a morning show on TV. And her experience is very interesting. So this is what I'm reading right now. I'm around halfway. I'm enjoying it.
Good on you.
Yes. If you want, I can give it to you.
Yeah, after. Yeah.
She's great. She's
After.
great. So what are you reading? What are you reading today? It's World Literacy Day. This is what I'm reading right now. Let me know. It's a fat book, but I'm enjoying it. Small. All right? Okay. So we're going to go into the show with the Wisdom Nugget. But before that, let me tell you that this show is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, Shiver Acrylic Paint, and I think a Next Level Energy Drink. Okay, so now today's Wisdom Nugget by Dr. Kofi Osei-Kusi. It's all about something that should interest all of us. Expectations. So we were expecting the Black Stars to win yesterday. They did not. Also have 3 points from 2 games. So expectations, maybe this one is just for them. Check it out, and we'll see you trends and a conversation on testosterone. Don't go anywhere. This is hashtag GTV Breakfast. Good morning.
It's a big good morning to you, and as always, it's super exciting and very humbling for me to come your way with the wisdom nuggets for your day. And guess what? A nugget a day keeps the problems away. And today, I want to talk about your expectations, What do you expect? What do you expect consciously, and what do you expect unconsciously? What are your personal expectations of every single day and of every single situation? You know, what I find, especially in this country, is that many people are so full of fear. Many people expect a lot of bad things to happen to them. They focus on a lot of the negativity, and you know, it's like only horrible things are coming their way. Let me tell you a quick story about this lady who had a visa to go to the United Kingdom. It was her dream to go to the United Kingdom. She had done every single thing to get a visa, and eventually she had a visa. And then, you know, of course, you know, she got a ticket and she boarded the flight. It was a British Airways flight to the United Kingdom. And, you know, BA normally flies late at night. So she boarded the flight, you know, at 11 p.m. and you know, the plane took off. And guess what? Just about 5-10 minutes into the flight, she started screaming, "Witches, witches, they are coming after me. They are coming after me." It was mayhem in the aircraft. And guess what? The cabin crew had to rise, you know, unfasten their seatbelt, to rush to the lady and find out what's happening, what's really happening. Said, the witches, they are coming after me. Look at the window. So they looked out of the window, and guess what? It was just the light from the wing of the aircraft, the red light that was flashing on and off. The lady thought it was witches coming after her. This may sound funny, but guess what? There are so many people who are always focusing and expecting evil to come at them. Even in the air, she thought witches were coming after her, but it was just their mind. My question is, what do you expect every single day? What are your expectations? In psychology, it is called the law of attraction. What you continue to focus on, what you continue to think about is exactly what is going to come to you. I like what Henry Ford said. He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's exactly what you think. And so as you go through this week, and as you go through the day, and as you go to the rest of the year, I want to urge you, expect good things to come your way. Expect success. Expect a job if you're looking for a job. Don't walk into an interview expecting that you're going to miss it. Even if you miss it, keep expecting. Let your expectations always be positive. Expect to be healthy. Don't expect to be sick. I mean, there is COVID around, and don't expect that you are the next person going to die from COVID. It doesn't matter where you work or what you do. expect good things to come your way. Why? Because the kind of things you focus on and your daily expectations are exactly what is going to happen in your life. So have a fabulous day. Expect the best of your life. Expect success. Expect, good marriage. Expect good home. Expect great things. It doesn't matter, where you are in life. Keep expecting the positive things, and surely it's going to come to you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. And enjoy your day.
Yes, thanks for joining us. Kav was just saying that wisdom nugget was for Siki Akono.
Yes,
because he should expect like positive
good
things. Positive things.
He should expect good things
in his life.
In spite of this was just a small speed bump.
Oh, but you people, football is 3 outcomes. You win, you lose, or you draw. Let's keep that for the social media trends, and let's go for the weather update, and then we'll be back to continue. Yes, and this is the social media trends bit of the breakfast show on GTV. It's hashtag GTV Breakfast. Follow us on our social media handles. We're streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. We're also on Instagram. So send your comments using the hashtag GTV Breakfast. You can also send comments via our WhatsApp line 05555 61034 05555 61034. So send your comments and questions across. We'll have a conversation on what's trending on social media. Last night, Ghana lost. Black Stars did not shine.
No.
It was a dark night.
It was a dark
night. So
the
stars didn't show.
The stars didn't come out to play. And Ghanaians are depressed.
We are not happy.
But I'm not really
happy.
surprised, because I did a poll 2 weeks ago about expectations for the Black Stars, and most people just really didn't care about what the team is doing. There seems to be like the love is not that deep. People are just blasé about the whole thing.
No, I don't think it's necessarily blasé. But if you have a team that hasn't won any laurels since 1982, certainly not in my lifetime, then you can understand why it's getting to the point where we don't remember any positive vibes from the Black Stars.
We're better than England. England haven't won anything since 1966.
But they have continental
they haven't won anything.
Championships.
Nothing. They've won nothing since 66. Nothing. Nada. Zero. None.
Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show.
So there are calls for the goalkeeper also to be changed. So many Ghanaians know how to make their voices heard. On Twitter, people who have not played the day of football like myself, we would be the ones leading the call and saying, oh, this person should go and that person should go. But we want. Last time his argument was, well, even if we didn't play well, we got the 3 points.
Yes.
This time the points ended up in somebody else's
Yes, the 3 points were there, but they ended up in somebody's. We need to support the players. My argument still stems to what's happening with England. They are always positive when they go to a competition.
Expectations.
Always. And now that I've seen England win anything. England won in 66, 55 years ago. Sike, the two greatest football coaches in the world right now. They say what Arteta and Sike Akono. So, well, Akono and Black Stars they better set up. Performance for them as well as the last one was absolutely horrible. Did they rusty, no inspiration? Should we sack Sike? I don't know, but something needs to be done fast. That's Samuel Owusu. He isn't letting the players know their positions. He's misusing them to play different roles on the field of play. Niafro, are you a coach? I mean,
technical analysis.
He who feels it knows it.
Technical analysis.
The things I've learned so far in Ghana. If Ghana wants to progress to the AFCON and World Cup, sack CK, find a better keeper, no to Nyami Nsawum. I don't know what that means. Zero shot on target.
Nyami
Nsawum. God me hand day inside.
Yes.
Because you appear better than CK. Can you believe? I'm sure Coach Appiah is lying down.
He's sipping on margaritas.
Yeah, and he's thinking,
thank God that's not me.
Are these Ghanaians saying this? You Ghanaians, what is wrong with you? He's not even watching. He doesn't read comments about his performance.
Maybe he should.
No, I read it in his book. He said he doesn't bother to read it. He just focuses on his work.
What kind of expectation is this?
CK, allow for CK, guys.
But the day is also trending because a lot of people blame the captain of the team for any losses.
Game.
So
it's a team game.
Here's one of the comments saying, Dede is not match fit. He hasn't played competitive football this season. No way he should be pushing more than 120 minutes in 3 days.
Is this another coach?
So
yeah, the first half, shot 0, goals 0, double 0, claps 230. Now there's too much.
It's good for clapping.
Come on, man.
And
give them a break.
Signature.
Let us behave like the way the English media do. They always support their team.
I mean, I wouldn't look. Ghanaians would say we don't do this, but now that there's been a loss, you see, we are trending.
Yeah.
If you weren't watching or you weren't following, you wouldn't have anything to tweet about. You wouldn't have anything to put on social media to vent about.
The criticism is too much.
But the criticism keeps you on your toes.
Oh, come on, it's too much.
So positive criticism. I personally think that the day are you in striker position, well, but if he had others behind him feeding those balls to him, he might have had it.
Coach, tell me.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Coach,
I'm just saying. If the midfield is solid and then the wings are not as they should be and the feed is not coming to the he's not going he's not going to score any goals.
Let me see your license.
But it doesn't take from the fact that we deserved a better performance at least, even if it was not an outright win.
A draw at least.
Draw cry.
I want to see your FIFA license.
I don't have. I'm now applying.
CAF
Willie Graham will apply for one for me. So hopefully you caught that match on GTV Sports Plus, official games channel for the World Cup qualifiers. Okay. And so GBC has committed to, making the matches available to all. We've heard your calls that some of you are not getting the feed. The people will work on that very, very quickly. Another thing that's trending, and it's not even really funny, is we woke up yesterday. We didn't wake up yesterday. It came up that a great actor had died in America.
Okay, who's he?
Michael Williams.
Michael Williams. I'm not really a film guy, so this is him. Okay, never seen him before. Found dead in his New York City apartment. Oh,
and they think it might be a drug overdose.
Oof. Emmy nominee Michael K. Williams, best known for his role in Omar Little in The Wire, has passed away. Other notable roles include White in Boardwalk Empire, and most recently as Montrose Freeman in HBO's Lovecraft Country. I've never seen him before, never watched any of these things. It shows you're a film guy or a movie guy, but you know him quite well.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. May he rest in peace.
It's not a good... Death is never something you expect, and so that's a huge loss.
Yeah. Oh,
especially
Charlie.
when they're thinking it might be a drug overdose.
Yeah.
I'm happy we had that drug addiction
conversation last week.
Yes, because it tells you that you should get help.
Yeah.
If you think it might be getting out of control.
Oh wow.
You should definitely get help.
No, I
so
never.
That was not a pleasant news to hear yesterday, especially on the heels of the fact that Jean-Pierre Adams also died yesterday, and he's a French player who went into coma in 1982, has been in coma for 39 years. Ooh. He also passed away yesterday.
82? In a coma?
Yep.
Wow.
Vegetative state for 39 years. Ooh. We're hearing his wife Bernadette stood with him till the end. So, yeah. Not a good feeling.
Yeah, but a great woman to stand by him in that state for such a long time. Yeah. May they both rest in peace.
Amen. Amen. So as we do every day, we are reminding you once again of our COVID-19 restrictions. COVID is still with us. It has not gone anywhere. The numbers are still not where they should be. So continue to wear your mask, maintain the social distance, wash your hands with soap under running water for at least 20 seconds, and use your hand sanitizer, sneeze into a tissue, stay away from people who are showing the signs, and let's all keep safe out there, guys. We need you alive so that the next Black Stars game, you can cheer.
The expectations will be greater. Charles Dickens, great expectations, CK. Yeah. So, listen, it will be fine. We will qualify. This is just a small bump in the road. We will qualify. Say amen, or I mean. Yeah,
amen.
We will qualify.
I need Ghana to qualify today. I mean, it should be fun. It's always interesting when the country qualifies.
Obviously in Qatar, doing the breakfast show in Qatar.
Oh, come on.
So we have to qualify.
You're on a roll.
So you can go to Qatar.
Keep at it. I'll manage these expectations.
Listen, the next conversation is on testosterone. There was a lot of that on the field yesterday with all the players and all the crowd and the people shouting and screaming. I'm sure you're interested in that conversation.
I am.
Okay.
You're interested in it for an entirely different reason.
No. I mean, we would not all be here in this world without testosterone. It's a major component of the sex drive. So, we are all here as a result of sexual acts.
I'm trying to keep my face
No, all of us. We're all here because of that, and so testosterone.
Yes.
What you need to make it be in good quality, in good quantities for you to do whatever you have to do, what it controls, what happens when it's low or when it's high. I'll be watching you do that conversation. Don't blush, you.
I'll try not to. It's a conversation you don't want to have early in the morning, especially with your mom watching, right?
No, don't worry.
Good morning to all of you who are watching us from across Ghana. We are receiving so many messages of yours from our social media platforms. Thank you for keeping faith with us. Follow our pages, like our content, and rewatch your favorite conversations and discussions on the show. Let us know what you think. Send messages to our WhatsApp line. Thanks to our sponsors, Awake Mineral Water, Adobe Next Level Energy Drink, Shoulder Acrylic Paint. We'll be back to have a sit down after the break. You don't want to miss that conversation on testosterone.
Testosterone.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Have you joined the Karimbu journey?
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Baby, I don't know. I just say, oh no, anyone, Nana Papa, say, temo Nami angasa medi memuso Ewa brakwemo Esa sana mpenyi ewa we Eya diebia eya pao Onipane obere ya Onipane obere ya Sana benyawe eya debia eya pa onipane obreya onipane obreya anywa nana kwa me pedo se oba anywa wa yense baby, I'm so no. I just say, oh,
Thanks for staying on It's Breakfast on GTV. The hashtag is GTV Breakfast. And on the health side of the morning today, we are talking about testosterone. And we know that it's a hormone found in humans as well as in other animals. We know that it's also found in women, and it is most often associated with sex drive and plays a pivotal role in bone production. We do know also that it has to be in the right quantities in a body, and as a person gets older, the chances are those levels may decline, which may lead to consequences, and then you would require some help to sort that out. And one of the organizations that offers help in that regard is the American Rejuvenation Clinic. We've been joined by the CEO, Mr. Tyrone Jamar, to explain some of these testosterone issues for us. Jerome, welcome.
Thank you.
Tyrone Jamar,
yes.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Right. And like I asked you just before we came on, what's the big deal with testosterone? It sounds like a male thing.
It's mainly predominant in males, but females also have testosterone. So the male, our predominant sex hormone, or the hormone that makes us a man, is testosterone. And in females, your dominant hormone is estrogen. So testosterone plays a large role in our characteristics as a man, from our muscle mass to our bone density, sex drive, metabolism, energy level, the list goes on.
And if there's any dip in the right balance, it could cause what kind of problems for males?
Well, it's normal for your testosterone to dip after the age of 40, but you don't want it to dip too low. So when that becomes an issue, when your testosterone level becomes too low, you want to watch out for decreased energy. You want to watch out for decreased libido, also excess body fat, difficulty to lose weight and to maintain muscle mass are some major symptoms.
So they present, low levels of testosterone present as some of these things that you've mentioned?
Yes, those are symptoms, yes.
Okay, and what can you do about them?
Well, there's the medicinal route, and then you also have your lifestyle. So just from your lifestyle, by sleeping the right amount a day, which, you know, at least like 6 hours a day should be a good amount to sleep. The more the merrier, but 6 hours at least minimum is recommended. Also, intake of water, healthy diet, a balanced diet, activity level. Those who exercise regularly usually have a healthier number of testosterone.
Okay, so we are seeing a depiction on the screen right now. Tell us what that means in the grander picture of how testosterone works.
Well, you have the testicles, which actually are one of the producers of the testosterone, and I don't see on there, but your adrenal glands are also one of the glands that help you produce testosterone as well. So a lot of times when your testosterone level is low, your penis will have a difficulty having blood flow, which is what we call erectile dysfunction. So those are things that and also you see the prostate there near the rectum. That is something that's also very important for us, especially this month being Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Your prostate is a gland that's located near the rectum, and that's something that we want to check every year as a man after 40 years of age to make sure that we screen for signs and symptoms of, or I should say, of prostate cancer.
Okay. So without testosterone in males, for example, because we are talking about men, what happens?
Well, without it, a lot of men actually go through it, and some of them believe that it's just a normal sign of aging. Those of us that have low levels of testosterone, suffering from decreased energy, so fatigue, someone that's always tired. Also men, they have what's called man boobs, or, you know, excess tissue in the breast.
Okay.
That's another symptom of a man that has a very low level. Also, having excess body fat around the hip area is another sign of decreased testosterone. And when your levels of testosterone is decreased, a lot of times your estrogen levels increase. So you can see the figure start to look more similar to a woman's figure in the man when his levels are reduced.
And what has it got to do with libido as well? And how does it affect the sexual urges of men?
Yeah, well, your desire for sexual health becomes decreased. But the most important factors is that with testosterone, it increases your blood flow. So the blood flow, a lot of circulation issues can happen with those who have low levels.
And you see, I'm struggling to catch up, because it seems like it's so linked to the reproductive systems of of men in so many different ways, and so just even having low libido is it as high end on the scale of issues that men could have with low testosterone, or is it on the high end when it comes to sexual urges and intimacy issues for men? How big a deal is this hormone?
It's
Make or break?
I wouldn't say it plays a huge role. There's sometimes other issues that can cause libido issues, but testosterone also plays a mental factor into us, and a lot of times libido is something that's mentally causing us to feel, you know, a lack of energy or a lack of excitement mentally. But also, you also have other health factors that contribute to low libido and erectile dysfunction, which could be heart conditions like congestive heart failure, hypertension, cholesterol issues. Those are all other issues that can contribute to, I should say, erectile dysfunction.
Okay. And how can you manage the condition? You mentioned that we could go a couple of different routes. So we're talking about medication and lifestyle changes. Are there alternatives?
Yes. Well, the lifestyle changes, those who exercise, so getting some exercise every day or at least a few times a week is something that can drastically improve your production of testosterone. Adequate sleep, also diet, trying to make sure that your diet is balanced.
So what kind of foods are we talking about here?
Well, you want to stay away from the excessive carbs, and you want to also have a decent protein level. And then fats also need to be balanced. So in the scheme of things, we don't want to be eating too much of anything. So not too much of fat. So fried foods or something that can go down that route. And then the carbs, we want to make sure that our carbs have fiber attached to them. So it's okay to eat fufu, bonku every once in a while.
Oh, thank goodness.
But we need to make sure that we're getting fiber, so that we need to get our fruits and vegetables in as well. And if we can't get the fruits and vegetables, then we need to be taking a multivitamin, which you can get at a pharmacy.
So we've talked about how low levels of testosterone could affect a man's well-being or even a woman's. We haven't come to the women, we'll come to that. Now, what does extra high levels mean also? Because that could also pose a challenge that needs to be sorted out.
Well, a lot of times it's not too common, but sometimes there are men that go over the testosterone level.
And what do they present when they have such high levels?
Sometimes you can see excessive energy, excessive libido. And also,
so an extra high sex drive.
Yes, extra high. Some people can claim, sex addict or use those terms, but also you get that excess energy level where it's difficult to sleep sometimes for those guys. Also, mental. I don't want to call it mental cloudiness, but your thoughts sometimes can be almost like attention deficit disorder.
Okay. They can't focus on one thing for too long.
Sometimes, yeah, that can be a symptom of it as well. But there's not as many symptoms that you'll see with somebody with excessively high levels compared to those with low levels. Okay.
What does it mean for women, the whole testosterone hormone? We know that you've told us the dominant hormone for women is estrogen.
Yes. It's different for women, varied on age. So after menopause, a lot of times what happens is hormone reduction in general. So your testosterone, your progesterone, and your estrogen levels decrease. So in testosterone in women, it's actually associated with your libido levels and also your metabolism and muscle density as well. But a lot of times in women with menopause, after the testosterone level decreases, the estrogen level also decreases.
And what does that mean for women if both levels are down at the same time?
A lot of times they confuse it also with the signs of aging. So you feel, you know, tired all the time. Also with estrogen, it affects your joints as well. So the lubrication in your joints, you get achy joints. But a lot of these things can be treated nowadays.
But if you have joint pains, especially as you're saying, it comes, a lot of people believe it comes with age. How do you then differentiate from age-related decline in bodily function and a deficiency in any of the hormones?
A simple blood test can tell you exactly, you know, holistically where all your hormone levels are. And then also, when it comes to arthritic changes, X-rays, MRIs, these type of things can be used to detect the arthritic changes.
And how expensive is it to treat an imbalance in, for example, testosterone?
Well, some people, it's different between the people, so the person or the patient, I should say. So somebody whose levels are within the normal range or median, who wants to boost their level, you can take the natural path. And we can just, you know, maintain your blood work and do things that are more on the less expensive route. Those who need hormonal replacement therapy, which requires an injection every 2 weeks, even that price, you would think that it would be more expensive, but anywhere between 400 to 1,200 CDs, depending on the person a month, would be something that.
Right. And when people come to your center, what do you ask them to look out for, and how do you advise them, on what basis do you advise them on the best line of treatment available for them? Because the American Rejuvenation Clinic is focused on delivering services such as this. So menopause, andropause, and the rest.
Well, the first step is, as soon as you come to the clinic, we test your full blood panel. So we want to make sure we screen everybody for everything possible, so that we know what's going on inside of the body holistically before we recommend any treatment plan. But those who need treatment, if they qualify due to their blood work, we'll set up a care plan that's individualized for that person. So it may require just an injection twice a month, or it could be something as far as just us recommending lifestyle and diet changes with you.
If someone were to take nothing at all from this discussion, what would you want them to remember about this hormone?
I would like people to know that this is something that's, I know it's newly practiced here in Ghana, but it's something that's very important in aging, to address our hormone levels. It affects so much symptoms that you may not realize.
And how can people reach your clinic? How can they access your facility?
Well, we're located at 64 Garden Street in East Legon. I want to say opposite Agape House. I know some people know XL Lounge. So also ANC Mall. It's about 400 kilometers north of ANC Mall. There's a mosque also right next to us. But you can look us up on Facebook, American Rejuvenation Clinic, Facebook. You can look us up at Instagram, also AmericanRejuvenation.com. You can Google us, it pops up. It will give you the map. And then also the phone number I have here is, we just actually changed it, but 030-295-5966. You can also call that line as well.
To get access to the clinic.
Yes.
The cost factor keeps coming up. Is it a very expensive treatment center?
No, it's not expensive. Especially, we are located in East Legon, but it shouldn't scare you. Our prices are actually...
Exactly why I'm asking again, because things on that side of town tend to be a bit pricey. So how do you ensure that it's available to all who need it, who may not necessarily have East Legon pockets?
Our prices are affordable. Our consult fees, depending on whether you need to see a specialist, which we do have urologists, in-house cardiologists. We have different specialists there. But a general consult ranges from 150, and then specialist goes up to 350, I believe, CDs. The monthly plan, like I said, it can go anywhere from 300 CDs to around 1,002. So we try to adjust it based on, you know.
Okay. Right. Thanks for sitting down with us to talk about this. I can tell that you're very passionate about it, and we wish you well. CEO of American Rejuvenation Clinic, Mr. Tyrone Jamal, has been talking to us about testosterone, and CAF has had a field day with this one. So all the libido issues and the sexual lack of energy and excess energy issues, that hormone is responsible for that in males. And so get in touch with them if you have any more questions, and we'll do our usual trip around the city on our rush hour watch. And my colleague Daryl Allen is at the Mamprobi intersection, and we'll find out what he's doing there. Alan? Yes, we're monitoring traffic situations. Alan Darrow is around the Mamprobi area. Alan, what can you tell us?
Hi, good morning, Telman. Welcome to Mamprobi in the Greater Accra region. We're currently at the intersection directly opposite the Mamprobi post office. So towards my south is the road leading towards the Tuesday market, the Accra famous Tuesday market. And then behind me, which goes westward, goes to Kamara and parts of Mamprobi. And then northwards, you're heading towards Latebiokoshi. If you have to go eastwards, then we're looking at Kolibu and its environs. Traffic situation over here this morning, as you can see from the shot towards Kolibu, you see a build-up from the intersection towards Kolibu. Now, behind me, which goes westwards, you'll have one going towards Kamara, and you have a policeman right in the middle of the intersection ensuring some discipline in the way traffic flows. It's flowing really very normal, very, very good, because there's the presence of a police officer. Most often when you get here in the morning, you see drivers ignoring the traffic and jumping red lights at will. But this morning, there's discipline because there is a certain authority monitoring traffic flow. I'd like to bring this to your attention also. And this is really worth talking about because this is once again in the heart of the Greater Accra region. And it's unfortunate to see the common denominator of our problems, and that is filth. The gutter right next to me is choked with so much filth. I can only imagine what happens if the floods come down or the rains come down and this find their way to your house or your home if you happen to be on a water line. Indeed, authorities will have to at least rise up and be counted in terms of making Accra clean once again. This is under the jurisdiction of an assembly member, a DCE or MCE, and an MP. This is part of Ablekuma Central, and this cannot be said to be any good. This is, Ablekuma South and not Ablekuma Central. This is Ablekuma South. This is so far the traffic situation here at the Mamprobi intersection this morning. Back to you in the studio, Thelma.
Thank you, Alan, for that report. Traffic flowing a bit more freely on the Mamprobi intersection. Alan is telling us there is a concern with the drainage systems being choked with filth, but traffic is moving because of the police presence. And if you're heading into that part of town or from that part of town, now you know what to expect. CAF will sit down with his panel to discuss issues that are in the newspapers. In our headlines segment, there is still so much more ahead. We have an update with from our conversation with that teenage mother from yesterday, and I must say once again that we are in no way trying to glorify teenage pregnancy or to make it seem like it's okay in any way. We just want to highlight the social problem of a poor orphan girl who sleeps rough on the streets with her 10-month-old son. So we do not intend to make this a glorifying experience for the young lady, just to offer her the help that she needs to get her life back on track. Remember, we are sponsored by Awake Mineral Purified Water and Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, together with Shield Acrylic Paints, to bring you this program. Follow our social media handles and get in touch with us on our WhatsApp line 05555611034. We'll be back with the headlines after this break.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Star of Ghana.
Before we have that sit down to discuss the headlines, let's get over to my colleague Nikita, who is at the Achimota police station intersection, and she's doing rush hour. Nikita, what's happening at Achimota right now?
Hello, thank you, Thelma. We are currently at Achimota, where on my right we have the road heading towards the Dome and Christian Village environs. And as we can see, there's not a lot of traffic going on there. It's quite early, so commuters are not on their way to work or anything. And right on my right side, we have commuters coming from the Accra-Kumasi highway, where there's a little bit of traffic. We can see a lot more cars on this road, the road heading towards Achimota. Yes, and then in front of us we have the 37 road, where there is a little bit of traffic. The traffic light has stopped the commuters, so we can see the traffic piling up. I would also like to mention that all the traffic lights on this area are working perfectly well, but the only problem that I'll point out is that the zebra crossings are not very clear on the road, so pedestrians have quite a problem crossing the road as they try to maneuver and get to the other side of the road. We can see the traffic, slow-going traffic of the commuters as they are passing by. There is also the police station, the Achimota police station, where right beside it we have the Achimota School primary and secondary schools. The time is 6:55. There's not a lot of traffic going on, but I am predicting that as time goes on, we'll see a lot more traffic, because this is a traffic hotspot at the Achimota traffic light. So this is what we have for the viewers today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita. So traffic fairly manageable in that part of town. She's saying that the road markings, however, are fading, and that creates difficulties for pedestrians to cross, because the zebra crossing is fading on the ground. Traffic lights working perfectly, so that's what to expect when you hit the road around the Achimota police station interchange. We've been doing rush hour, and after this break, CAF will bring you the headlines with his panel. Stay with us.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the...
Hashtag GTV breakfast, the day after what went down in South Africa yesterday with the Black Stars, with a very painful 1-0 defeat to Bafana. And if you look at the trends, it's all over the place. So third trend on Twitter is Dede Ayew. Fourth trend is Thomas Partey. Sixth trend is Bafana. Seventh trend is Asamoah Gyan. I'd love to hear what his thoughts are today. 10th trend is South Africa. 11th trend, Sack CK. And we're not talking about Kotoku here. That kind of sack is not the one we're talking about here. Then you've got Richard Ofori, Siki Akuno. So you know what is on the minds of our fellow countrymen and women. It's about the Black Stars and their failure to deliver the 3 points yesterday. What are your thoughts? Do you think we can still progress and get to that coveted Qatar 2022 situation? Should we maintain the coach? Or you think it's time for him to leave? What are your thoughts? I'm curious. 055-556-1034. My guests for the headline discussion, to my immediate left, the Member of Parliament for Anya Souchum in the Greater Accra region, Dr. Dixon Adumanko Kisi. And seated next to him, he represents the New Patriotic Party, by the way. And seated next to him is a former Central Regional Minister and currently a farmer. Yes, Mr. Aquinas Kwanzaa. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you. You've met before?
I've seen him from afar, but we've not met up close and personal. I think today is the first time.
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
Seeing him. I mean, I go along. I mean, I've been seeing him, especially during the election. But we've not.
Now it's Philly Gadochi.
Yes.
Yes. You can give him a fist bump if you want. Elbow bump.
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, did you see the game yesterday?
Oh boy, I did. I did. And, you know, painful loss, I would say. But we shouldn't give up. This is an away match. And it's unfortunate how even the goal went down. And our performance also, looking at the stats, was quite unimpressive as the Ghana Black Stars, we know. But I don't know. We'll wait for the team to come out with maybe their audits themselves. Then we'll know what really went down. But yesterday was not one of our best performances.
Were you perplexed by the performance?
In fact, I was bedeviled. I mean, I was wondering. I mean, what's happening? You know, that was the question that kept running through my mind, because we were not trying. The attempts were poor, and finally we you know, had a goalkeeper that just made it so easy for them to score us. But oh well, life goes on, and I would hope that whatever the issues were in terms of formation, we can go back to the drawing board and work it out, because this is not good for, you know, our future in terms of what we know as Black Stars.
Not good enough for Qatar?
We can make amendments. We can. We should. We have to. Very necessary. And I think there's also one bit. I mean, I always say this. Unfortunately, most of our good players end up playing in other leagues compared to having them on the ground training and playing together. So the synergy becomes a problem. You just unplug you from a foreign league, unplug another player from a foreign league. Because they are good, it doesn't mean that the cohesion will be there.
Need more of a team.
We need the team to work at it for sometimes 6 months. And that's difficult. You know, pulling somebody from their league, it's not an easy thing. So another school of thought is to maybe, you know, give a break to those in the foreign leagues and use our very abled local leaguers to achieve our goals. Because I mean, you'd be surprised. There are people who are not playing big leagues and can really help us achieve, you know, what we want, which is scoring and then going up in terms of our soccer playing. So that's another whole argument.
Whole conversation.
Yeah, but I think no matter what, regardless if you have whether Stephen Appiah, whoever, I'm just saying, if the team is not playing consistently together for a match, you have problems. I mean, that's my thinking.
Scores, if you grade them over 10.
Yeah,
this performance.
I better not.
Oh, we give it a grade.
Yesterday, I mean, definitely below average.
So 4.
Definitely. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll go with that. But I mean, I'm just being a bit generous because I also feel for the players. But and round Mr.
Kosa, would you tell them to their face that, Charlie, you guys, you sucked yesterday?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a football connoisseur, you know, so I watched the match through and through yesterday, and the goal, like my brother is saying, it's not the fault of the goalkeeper. I mean, there's no way even the best goalkeeper could touch that ball. Our defense was non-existent. Our midfield was dead.
Scattered.
I mean, the Black Star that I know, I mean,
which Black Stars do you know?
No, at least I've gone through so many Black Stars. Because I'm nearing my pension age, so I've gone through so many Black Stars. Even the last Black Stars that we saw, the one that went to AFCON the last time. I mean, look, at least you see they will play the game, they will not score. But this, we're not playing. Our passes were so wrong. Our defense, I don't know, some players, you see, I've not been following these people. That because I don't know most of the players. Especially, our left back. There's this fair guy, some I don't know, half caste or something. Some guy very fair. They brought, I mean, and I thought even the first time he shouldn't have come in the second half, because if you watch, every cross comes from there, and I mean, we nearly considered the most useless goal. That's Ofori, a goalkeeper. I mean, no, look, the ball was, we were lucky that the guy rushed, the South African forward rushed, so he just slid and the ball went over the goalpost. But seriously, yesterday, look, believe you me, it was like I'm watching Dewu and Akotes playing. Seriously, I mean, there was no formation. I was happy when I heard Coach Siki Akono.
Apotex and they will not be happy with you.
No, I mean, I'm talking about their teams, but they are not in the. They are not playing
Major League.
I mean, they are. I don't know if is the who still there. Akotes, I know is defunct long ago. Before some of these,
the former players will not be happy with you.
No, but what happened? I don't think we should sack our coach. What I realized is, you see, yesterday, all our players from UK were not allowed to travel to South Africa. Yeah. And if you look at the midfield, they are the midfield people. I mean, you're talking about Shaw, talking about Jordan Ayew, you're talking about Thomas Partey. I mean, these are top-class midfielders. And they were not there.
So we should reduce our dependence on
them.
England
Definitely.
Players.
You see, my brother was talking about building a local. You see, the local team, the boys are hungry and angry for success. So when you put them in there,
yes,
they kill themselves. Mm-hmm. See the House of Folk player. He was the only local player. And look at the way they were playing. I mean, you could see that. Look, this guy, he wanted to make a statement. Mm-hmm. And to me, he made a statement. I think he was my man of the match from our side. Seriously. Meanwhile, he's a local player from Accra House of Folk. I believe when they come down, but we'll qualify. Qualify, we will. I know. We will qualify.
We have to.
We need, look, 2 matches gone. We have 3. Mm-hmm. South Africa have 4. Mm-hmm. Look, all we need is to handle Zimbabwe, and another is Zimbabwe and
it will come. Don't worry.
Those other
the
two
table
teams.
is there. The table is there. So we've got Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, Ghana, South Africa.
Yeah. So Zimbabwe, we've played Ethiopia already. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We won.
Yes.
We lost. Now we have to play Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. Zimbabwe, if it's a win or nothing else for us.
Otherwise
we should forget it.
Should they sack the coach if we lose the next game?
No. You see, sacking of coaches doesn't help issues. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes it does. I mean, bringing in mind Chelsea. I mean, it's the same materials that were there.
And the new coach came and did things.
And Tuchel came and made the team a different thing. I mean,
Chelsea man.
Yeah. No, I'm a Tottenham fan. Okay, right. But I mean, I'm talking. I just wanted to.
Yeah. Leadership makes a difference.
Yeah. I mean, see the way you see House of Folk play the coach, Budu or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, the guy is like a psychologist. If you go to training and he sees that this player you are dull in a way, he call you outside. What is the problem? Are you having some family problems? You know, so you see a father figure in him. You understand? And you always don't want to disappoint your father.
Is CK a psychologist?
I don't know. No, that we have. I mean, I think definitely in
team
the team
psychologist.
They have the team psychologist.
But is he the man for the job?
I mean, hey, for that, I mean, he's there.
That doesn't sound like a vote of confidence.
No, he's there. I mean, once he's there, we should look. It's better we grow our own. We are talking about patronizing made in Ghana. Let's patronize him. Let him go on. Yeah. I mean, he will grow confident.
Right.
I mean, because he's fairly young, you know, but he will go into the system. I mean,
he will be okay. I mean,
final comment. I saw somebody saying we need Coach. They think Coach Kwesi Appiah is better than CK Akona. What do you think Kwesi Appiah will be thinking this morning, listening to these comments?
Oh, well, look, Kwesi Appiah also lost games. All we need to do is he is to qualify us. Already we qualified for the CAN, but he should qualify us for the World Cup, because the last time we were not able to go to the World Cup. This time we must go. We must go. We must go. And this is not even the toughest time.
The first level.
This is the first level. You have to just stop your table and move to the second level, where the fireworks will begin.
So Agrobesoa,
if you're not
I hope it's a good morning for you. Watching GTV Breakfast, what are your thoughts on the biggest headline this morning, being that Black Stars didn't get the 3 points that they were supposed to get? And so there are calls for the coach to leave the job. There's a lot of criticism against the players. What do you think? You think it's fair? You think we should continue to give the coach a chance to do his thing? After all, it's a made in Ghana product. Let's give him a chance. And today's quote says it. It is better to govern or misgovern yourself than to be governed by somebody else. So if we want to rely on our own talents, we should give them a chance to also fail before they can succeed. What do you think? 055-556-1034 is the WhatsApp number. So from football, which is the passion of Ghana, to politics, where another of the trends is Mahama. So Mr. Mahama is trending seriously in the news. In the terms of the trends, he's like number 2 trending in Ghana. Yes, yeah. No, in fact, he's number 1 now, number 1. So he's been talking. This is a quote attributed to him. I heard it in the news yesterday. COVID-19 has become the convenient whipping boy and has been cited as the reason for the crisis we face now and the attendant economic hardship. John Mahama. So he has called on the government to constitute a national forum on the economy to find lasting solutions to the country's economic challenges. Quote, the seemingly intractable problems we face and the vicious cycle they continue to perpetuate should compel us to create room for more consultation and deliberation among competing political forces and ideologies, end quote. So this is from today's Daily Graphic. He was speaking at a lecture dubbed State of the Economy, the Scorecard, at the CD Conference Center at the University of Ghana in Accra yesterday. He threw all kinds of jabs. He's talking about COVID has become a pretext for reckless election-related spending, which produced the largest ever budget deficit in the recent economic history of the country. Last year, he compared Ghana's economy to being a patient in the ICU in desperate need of urgent attention. This is a quote he made last year in the height of the pandemic. Mr. Kosa, your former presidential candidate is stoking fires unnecessarily. That's what some people are saying, and just basically refusing to accept that there are serious problems which are being tackled by those at the reins of power. How do you respond?
Thank you. I'll say good morning to our viewers. And stoking what?
Well, he's basically, yeah, he's refusing to admit that COVID is a big issue. That's the claim.
No, you see, maybe you think that way.
I'm only echoing what the thoughts are.
No, he said everything we blame it on COVID. And if you see look at our performance from 2019 down, we were dipping. So we were already going to be in this position before COVID came in. But COVID came and aggravated the whole issue. Look at the growth pattern that we've enjoyed from 2019. You realize that we were spiraling down. But COVID also came, and that is why he became the boogie boy. I mean, COVID became everything that you say, they will say is COVID. You see, and if you look at the amount of money that has come into this country because of the same COVID, how much money have we received because of COVID? $100 million came. Now
IMF has dropped 2 billion.
Yeah, now they've dropped 2 billion. That's what I'm saying.
1 billion last year.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So if 2 billion, and you can't tell me they are doing something extraordinary. I mean, we all live in this country
What are they doing so extraordinary that $2 billion will still create a hole in your books? You will still have huge deficit. And it's true. 2020, the deficit was something, the 2020 after 2020, if you look at the 2021 budget, the deficit that we created in 2020, it's never happened in the history of this country before. Yeah, we blame it on COVID. I don't have a problem them blaming it on COVID. But at the end of the day, countries are, okay, I would say that we've done better than other countries. But other countries too have done better than us. We don't need to count ourselves with the doves. We should at least try to compare ourselves with the eagles. I mean, he is a Ghanaian.
Who are the eagles?
No, I'm talking about, I mean, when it's convenient to compare ourselves to Togo. When it's convenient, we compare ourselves to Ivory Coast. When it's convenient, we compare ourselves to our neighboring countries. You understand me? But when we turn it around, then it becomes a political game. But I believe President Mahama is a Ghanaian. He feels whatever people are feeling. So when he says that we don't need to blame COVID, because we were already going down before the COVID came in. And when COVID came in, the kind of money that we've received is unprecedented. Within like 1 billion, I say 1 billion this year, 100 million for the start. And I mean, sometimes you ask yourself, what are we doing with all those monies? Because I should be able to see the impact. We've closed our borders. Why? Because we are scared of COVID, right? Our land borders. Mm-hmm. We've opened our, I mean, the air, I mean, our airports are open, but our land borders are closed. Meanwhile, the people living in those areas, their livelihoods depends on even them crossing to go and market their food stuff and come back. We've blocked them from going. With all this money, so can't we even have test kits for our people at the border, so that they would be doing this, what they call the instant.
So you test and go and do your business, come back, you test if you have.
No. But like you can't, if you test right now and you enter and you have it and you carry it, test, you won't know. I hope you understand me.
What's your suggestion?
But no, what I am saying is put in place the same thing you've put in place in Koteka Airport. I hope you understand me. But in a cheaper version where people can go in and come out. Because look, we have enough money to buy test kits and test people for free. For free. We have enough money. 1 billion, how much is a test kit? How much are we spending? You see, we were all praying that the vaccines would have come in as planned. So that by this time, we'll be heading towards like maybe herd immunity. I mean, if you have about 10 million people even vaccinated, you have that. I mean, if you are walking around and you are sitting by somebody, you know that, oh, I'm vaccinated, is vaccinated. So, though that doesn't mean you should lose your guard, but at least it gives you a little security. Look at UK. Now they're playing football. See the number of people that goes to this, because in their minds they are heading towards herd immunity. They don't care. All right. You understand me? But in a country of our 30-something million people, we are just doing 1 million.
A long way to go. So basically, you agree with Mr. Mahama, COVID has become the convenient whipping boy, and he's saying constitute a forum to discuss challenges of the economy. So
you know, my brothers in the FPP, they will
let me put it to him. I cannot assume anything. So, Dr. Adoma Kutisi, so Mr. Mahama, amongst the things he said in this meeting is that sitting down with political opponents to find a common ground and thinking through national problems is not an admission of defeat nor helplessness. And I quote, it's a demonstration of maturity and a statesmanship oozing out of a shared desire to see our nation progress, irrespective of the color of those who govern at a particular point in time. End quote. Mr. Mahama says, you guys need to sit down with him and other people who will have the country at heart to deal with the issues and stop blaming COVID-19. once again, good morning. And Sid, I'm always happy to be here. In fact,
it's a pleasure.
You do a very wonderful service to Ghana. And GTV, commendable. You reach a large audience. Greetings to Anyansotum people watching today. In fact, when it comes to former President Mahama, I give him the respect as a former president, and it ends there. Why does it end there?
Because the job is coming.
All that he could do, I think he's shown Ghana already. That is one thing. And clearly, from his discussions yesterday, personally, I think he needs some schooling with regards to the worldwide challenges of COVID. Personally, I think he's demonstrated that he has a huge lack of understanding or appreciation in terms of the realities of COVID. And let me cite a few examples why I think our president needs maybe some debriefing. He can spend time looking at all the various discussions that the president has panned out over the 20 somewhat sessions that he's given to the Ghanaian people. Why do I say that? Truly, COVID isn't the only thing that has impacted the country, I must admit. However, let me explain some of the challenges we have. There's what we call foreign investment into this country. And let me just go into the category of you and myself, our relatives who are outside, okay? I have cousins in the UK and US who are currently at home. And to say the least, the minimum $100 or £100 they would have sent to a family member out of, Jikodi is almost now non-existent because they themselves are struggling because they are out of work. And let me just touch on the airline industry. I'm not going to even go into various industries. The airline industry is hemorrhaging. And need I say that when they buy one airplane today, it takes them 70 years to pay off a plane. 70 good years. And that is the challenge of the airline industry. And when COVID came, unprecedented, the entire airline industry was shut down because there was no flights going into the US, no flights going into Europe. And Ghana, as we know, we had our shutdown for quite a number of time. And do we know how many jobs were lost? Many flight attendants, many pilots had to cut down their hours, and hotels. I have a cousin who was working with one hotel, I think it's Marriott. Bright future ahead, it's down to a standstill because hotel occupancy is down. So if you just take the airline industry, flights are not going, people are not flying enough, the impact on the economy. If your father was a pilot, right now you'll be moving from a 5-bedroom house probably to a 2-bedroom house. This is reality. And it's painful that we have a former president who cannot appreciate the impact of COVID as real as it is. And I'm sure he might be in the category of people who do not even think that COVID is real, per what he's saying. But let me just be very clear.
Is that not why he's asking for a forum to be constituted to discuss the challenges? Since you guys may have more information, why don't you have a forum to share information with everybody?
I think the information is out in the public domain. All it can take might be tuning into Sky from Australia, tuning into CNN. I'm just citing or reading. Spend some time and read through even the America's budget. As a former president, I don't think it's far-fetched for him to read the American budget or even the current budget that we have as a nation, because the details are in the budget. He's failed to read, obviously, and I think that he should do his homework first before he comes out in the public domain to make statements. So I'll tell Mahama in his face that go and do your homework.
But he has been, to be fair to him, he has quoted numbers
in his conversation. I was listening to the conversation, which are figures from the documents that you are quoting. So is it an interpretation issue?
So is he aware that the Americans have taken several trillions to buffer themselves from the challenges of COVID? If
he's talking about Ghana, he's not really.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, so when an economy, and our economy is nowhere close to what Biden is managing, and he's gone for several trillions. So when he says that yes, Ghana has received money and we don't feel it, please, in all fairness, cushioning an economy is no joke.
Let me put some figures to you. Yeah. Are they lies when he says the country's debt has ballooned to unsustainable levels and has topped 80% of gross domestic product? Almost all tax revenue is used to service debt, and the effect has been introduction of several new taxes. I mean, are these lies?
Let me even cite some further examples. Listen, I mean, are these
truths?
As a country, no. The thing is, we are saying that times are hard because of COVID. What he is saying is that those figures are not really true because there's no COVID issue. I mean, that is the reverse.
No.
I mean, that is what...
Is that the interpretation you're putting to the figures?
What he is saying is that times are not hard because of COVID, but other reasons.
No. Maybe you didn't listen to him. Or maybe...
I mean...
No.
So in my understanding of former President Mahama...
Kafi,
let me make his point.
Convenient what? COVID has become what?
Well, the words of Mr. Mahama is COVID has become the convenient whipping boy.
Convenient.
I beg to differ. That's why I'm saying that his depth of understanding of the economic impact of COVID, and I just use one industry to explain how COVID impacts the local Ghanaian in terms of if you have an uncle who's building a house here, the monies he would have sent would give cement industry some money, give block builders some money, give some masons some money, laborers some money. Now, he himself is not working in the UK. It's not possible. And this is the losses to the economy. And listen, Ghana thrives on these, I'm coming to build, businesses. And that is almost zero now. Now, when you even go off that, I've also cited instances, even in our country, look at the hotel and tourism industry, almost at a standstill. Because there were shutdowns in our country, and all of us know a lot of business transactions in terms of even training, which takes people to several hotels in this country, were not happening. And thankfully, work, which is, Zoom and all these things, became the thing of a daily, reality, where huge business transactions were held via tele networks and monies were moved without infrastructure enjoyment. Let me say that, because if you would ask the average hotel owner in this country that, Charlie, how is business? He'll tell you, Charlie, COVID has wiped out all my monies that I had for a rainy day. It's wiped it out. And when you talk to a hoteler, a hotel man who would have had people washing bed sheets to earn a living, people ironing bed sheets to earn a living, he'll tell you that, Charlie, now I have one person doing all of this, cooking, receiving guests, sweeping, and because we don't get guests at all. And that is the reality, and that one, you don't need me to give you numbers. It is the reality. Just go to somebody whose job is down. And let me add one thing.
Briefly, so we can wrap this up.
I think that President Mahama, former President Mahama, has said it even, I think he concedes that he needs more education about the real state of affairs with regards to the economic impact of COVID.
He's asking for a forum to discuss these matters. Is it necessary?
Maybe he's been tuning out.
For you to teach him, since you think he needs more education?
He's been tuning out of radio engagements, tuning out of television engagements, because there's a wealth of information right from Ministry of Information, right from even the Jubilee House, or if at all anything, take time, get the volumes of several accounts that the president has given, and I think he'll pick something.
Maybe he wants to hear it from the horse's own mouth and receive feedback in a discussion like this instead of just looking at documents or listening to radio and TV stations.
At this point in time, I think one, he's not medically inclined to help us with COVID. Two, if he wants to help, maybe he can create, and I've said this right from the beginning, he can help us with some laboratory infrastructure to beef up our testing for COVID. You know,
it's a real suggestion.
And I'll be happy.
He wants a forum. He wants a discussion.
You know, enough of the talking, because I think we've done enough. He just needs to go back to the various, you know, accounts that have been given by Ghana Health Services, Ministry of Health. There's a volume, a vast volume. And you know what? The ordinary nurse on the street might be able to even educate him in terms of how COVID has ravaged families and jobs and things like that. So I don't see why you need a huge forum, maybe for theatrics or for you know, looking good on camera. But I think there's a wealth of information. He should just tune into all the accounts that the president has given us from day one of COVID to date, and I think he'll be more enlightened by a lot of the statements that the president has made. So
Too much talk.
COVID is real.
COVID is real. Too much talk. President Mahama's suggestion is not
the impact is real.
Discussing.
No, he needs to go and learn.
No, you see, when you talk about smartness, I don't think you can even compare Nanado to John Mahama.
Is that where the conversation is going?
I mean, where he is taking the thing. I mean, it's like he doesn't read. He doesn't learn.
It is the truth.
You know, the kind of things that he's saying. Look, let me tell you one funny thing. You see, why should I believe the president who tells me in his announcement that within that same year we were battling COVID. At the end of that year, he was going to build 88 hospitals. For me, I believed him, and he lied to me. The year went by.
Forward-looking
2 years.
statements.
No, I'm coming. It's not forward-looking. He gave timeline. If you give the thing, if you say and you leave it
forward
open. No, if you say it and you say, look, in the next 4 years, we'll make sure we build 88 hospitals. I will understand you. Even first year, let's say you are using first year for feasibilities, I will understand. But you don't stand or sit on television and tell me that by the end of the year, you are going to, you would have built 88 hospitals. You told me. So now anything that you tell me, I have to go back and go and Google and make sure I do my own research.
So why does Mr. Mahama want to sit and chat with somebody who is not credible?
Listen to what he said. It's not about COVID. He was talking about the economic. See, we are blaming anything in the economy to COVID. And he said, look, everything shouldn't be blamed on COVID. Because COVID has become the convenient boogie boy. So everything is being...
Is COVID a woman or a man?
No, I don't know. Biggie, I take it. It's the way you take it.
Gender balance.
No, I'm taking... I'm a boy. I'm a man, so I'm taking COVID to be like a man.
And you know, Kofi people will not be happy with you. You said
worry.
COVID.
Don't worry, whatever. I'm Kofi myself, so what's the deal? You see, so at the end, I believe, look, this is a good call. Look,
agreed.
Yes, no, so I'm coming.
Wisdom doesn't reside in one man's head.
You see, and you see the way sometimes my friends in the MPP, I mean, they are posturing.
Your brothers.
You see,
MPP.
I mean, they think they are the repository of every knowledge.
No.
I'm coming. You see, they don't see why they should go and sit with people. You know, they tell us we are veranda boys. They've been telling us all the time. They are the elite in the society. Sometimes they feel sitting with these guys for what? But you see, the parliament that you sit with people who help you make your decision, who help the country move forward. They are not the bourgeoisies that you people, I mean, like, we see you to be. I hope you understand me. I was in parliament for 8 years. And sometimes they look, I mean, somebody will look at you and will ask you, will tell you to the face that, Aquinas, fine boy, why did you join NDC? I mean, you see, I don't understand. So me, I remember in 1996, I entered an office in Kumasi, and I had this bush, JJR. You know, it was Jerry Rawlings' time, JJR. And I entered the office. There was nothing NDC umbrella or anything, but it's just JGR. I went to the office, and you know what the guy told me? The guy is a lawyer. He said, look, awareness, but you nice gentleman like you belong to NDC. I said, yes, I belong to NDC. Why? And you too, a learned person like you follow these people blindly. And he took offense. Look, in Parliament, I've had the opportunity of even quarreling with people when they whenever they tell, I mean, they will look at you and they say, quite as far, you look at your demeanor, how? So they have a mindset about who NDC people should be. But they forget that, look, we are book smart, we are street smart, and that is one thing that is sustaining. Look, they come from a very long, very, very old tradition. We don't come from an old tradition, but we've been able to rub shoulders till now. You understand me? So you don't say, I mean, like...
so the forum should come on?
Look, if it comes on...
No, he should do his homework before the forum.
Okay. Look at which homework?
You say
we have our homework. We have our team. Look, you are talking about...
You are saying
it's
that
not
COVID has not impacted.
No, I'm
and
not
we
saying...
are saying that
boss,
COVID has impacted.
My brother, you see sometimes... When you all right. You understand?
Okay.
Let me tell you one funny thing, because
I need to jump to Gliffy right now quickly.
What is happening?
Something serious is happening there, so I want to
Gliffy,
your own Gliffy. Wow. So this is hashtag GTV Breakfast headlines with Dr. Aduma Kutisi and Aquinas Kwanzaa.
Are you Catholic?
MPP and NDC gentlemen. Let's go to the ground and speak to my friend, our colleague, Alan, who is in an area called it's actually Glefela. True. Alan, you get your job like Glefer. What's happening in Glefer? So we're going to get the feed pretty soon. I'll read a couple of comments, and when Alan comes on, we shall find out exactly what's happening at Glefer. So comments coming in. Good morning. What extraordinary things did the former President Mahama do to better the lives of Ghanaians that President Kufuor has collapsed? The hardship at his time was worse than today. Even teachers and nursing training allowances he couldn't pay. Better managers are managing the country. And this is from K-Ban Ablekuma. So thank you very much. I'll read more comments after I've gone to Alan, morning.
Good day.
Hi, good morning, Kafu, and welcome to Chemwena and parts of Glefe in Dansman, the Greater Accra region.
Right.
This is in the Ablekuma West constituency. And interesting, where we are currently, there seems to be a certain takeover by the water and is kicking all residents whose homes are along the shoreline away. But before we come to that, I'd want you to have a look at the shots behind me. If you can get the aerial shots, the eye in the sky is flying across the Chemu Lagoon. And there is a very macho attempt by community members to reclaim the land of the lagoon for building purposes. And this creates a lot of problems, especially when the rains come down and there is flooding. You would see among them typically is rubbish. These are intentionally brought here in order to reclaim the land of the lagoon. And this is creating a lot of problems for them. But people are not learning from that. Now, when you come away from the lagoon, which is currently being forced to become so linear so that people can build their homes along the banks of the lagoon, there is also a sea defense project towards my right intended to protect the people along the shoreline whose homes are currently submerging underwater. Unfortunately, yesterday when our research team got here, we were taken into some homes, and it is very, very sad to see that people's homes have been taken over by the sea. The sea defense project is currently ongoing, all right, but there is also an attitude of the people that is impacting negatively on the progress of the job. People are winning sand, so there are signs all over the place saying no sand winning. I am going to bring on a community member, a leader of the community whose name is Papa Mula, who has agreed to speak to camera to highlight some of the problems they face around here, especially attempts by the community to get authorities to come to their aid, find them a suitable relocation possibly so their lives can go on. Papa Mula, Papa Mula is going to speak, but I'll bring you a certain interpretation when he's done. Papa Mula, lebine ojuku.
Ojembla.
Yo, ofine, bekukuo mi hanmale noni jinye hamo krede ni obiene ke noni yetawo ni government abami nefi hanye.
Oh, be yomo gagaji bi ane wo obote fimu mi keje 2 years ni kabane. Obote fimu mi waye nuena gbejano to. Ki ha wo twini mamushi. Efe to mo show mba bi ane by 40 years time ke ba shi bi ane 2 years and bani every ake ben show rush what we unle je na kan si bia ne ke je 2 years ni wa oni bi fe en kwanta aka citizens afa ko ba ahuna ko wa heko ni ke ba si bia ne wo me ni se sheku wonu what we ya wala jin ya wo ya jin pele sin show lo o ma jin pele sin show lo na gba tahun to san ni won fe ko bonu ba fe ke ni ona to enjole what we government one okay woman ya ke hale onye ko ero ko afi ibi antone ni efe to mu be man wo mi wo ke je wo chumu na ante ka si you are man dan so man beach opposite abu wo ya kunta an ke je bi ka si choko chumu ni na ka si choko ni ami abu ya kunta eni ni bi fiti o
Papa Mula nyebe mi obama mi wona wole aka enye chaahia ye si defense se no hani insure he onye hia enye ya aka nyelele enye den mini ginya na aje mo
po to mo be hia ne lela ake me ba lo nta me ba na ba lo na kan me gwa ni ka mba o manfo ni wo si before money ekwa ni je bi eje alo je nso ye yo le ba lo mo ele be lo ni bia no ko na ne ma sha de sia ne aka lo mo ko ni ka ba ne ba lo ka te yo mu e ke bu mu je mu na anu kwale bo ko papa ko be o to le this thing e sinu papa na nsa bi ya to le lai mo ni yu ona legend as fonyo o ko na ne mo sha ke bia ne sia o mo egbe na lo bola jin ke ni bi po na de wo fa ni won yo no
famula wo be fa e wo anu okwe le ne ke le bi na ne nka bo yu one MP ni ko neke pupa ne no ekwewo na kano DC lo MC ni ko pupa ne no la hu ekwewo assemblyman ni shipon no je ni odamo ne la hu etu ebe shon ye wo he neke me etene ameden nyemo ke he wala yo aka mba ko eni ya ajonye mini nyo ne ba aka amede ne
o ha ma ko kaji ame he ame wo mi na kan ko ni ame ka me ne amos ko ni ame boy mo da ame awo kan boy mo da me nya me boy mo da me awo o ba bi jo mo su ame no no peji no ni country no ni nta o maka ame ro don't pay.
Yes, so back to you in the studio. Papa Mula has just explained what their problems are along the stretch of the coast from Choco all the way through Yuaman. This goes through Chemwena and then parts of Glefe. Sand winning, he explains, they are now ensuring that it no longer continues. But then, the land reclaim at the banks of the Chemu Lagoon and also those homes that are submerging underwater, he sent an appeal directly to the MP and also to the MCE and as well as the assembly member. And he's asked them to please come to their aid and ensure that their homes as well as their livelihoods, which are in the canoes and the nets they use for fishing, are not taken over or away by the sea. Back to you in the studio, Kafui.
Thank you very much, Alan. And he was telling me that there's a particular gentleman he visited yesterday whose bedroom is taken over by the sea, depending on the state of the tide. So at some point in time, he cannot sleep in his room because the water is his neighbor. The water, he comes and goes, you know, his room is part of the beach. It's climate change, human activity, big headaches in that area. And I can only say a lot of headaches on the heads of the MP and the MC and the assemblyman, and a lot of problems there. But hey, these are the signs of the times. We need to think about these things and solve them. Let me just read a couple of messages as we end. Good morning. President Mahama has hit the nail right on the head. NPP is inept. Best they are doing is commercializing COVID-19. This is Musa from Nima. Thank you for your messages. 055 556 1034. So this is Nanado from Accra watching from the Maersk Ventures drill ship. It's very sad to hear the past president come up with such information. Ghana has been one of the best countries in the world that has greatly managed COVID during and before the pandemic. The NPP government has done a good job, and the past president has decided to put a blind eye on it. COVID is not the whipping boy, as the former central minister, regional minister is saying, and they should appreciate the efforts of the NPP. Thank you very much for your comments. I'll read a couple more, and then I will do it. Tell that NPP man, he's an MP for Anyasu too, please, that Ghana is bleeding la. Oh, and you want us to stop bringing NPP and NDC onto the airwaves. But they represent a lot of people in this country, and we must hear what they're saying. So don't worry, I'll be here in the middle organizing things to make sure that things don't get out of hand. A couple more Black Stars messages. So you're not very happy with the performance of the Black Stars, and he says, good morning, fellow Ghanaians. Thank you very much. Black Stars, And when a Ghana man says, you know, there are issues there. So, but we pray that the next game they win.
You know, yes. Ghana people say, Adope, a language. Adope. You know Adope?
Adope is
dwarfs.
Yes.
A dwarf.
Yes.
They say, it's heavy because it's a language of the dwarfs. Because when they say, you don't understand.
None of us here are dwarfs. We're all quite tall. Gentlemen, thank you.
You see, are we going to talk about
No, we're done. We're done.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I anytime I go there, I weep because you know I know that area very well.
Okay.
I mean, those times my auntie was living where they call Agege today. I mean, in Poase, Mamponse, Chemwena.
Times have changed.
I mean, and you go there today.
It's terrible.
Hey.
It's terrible.
I mean, we need to seriously do something about it.
Climate change, human activity.
No, that place is human activity. Okay, it's not climate change.
But then what is integral people's behind?
No, yes, that is what I'm talking about.
All righty. Okay, well, that's it. That's what's happening.
By forced reclamation, people are reclaiming land. They don't know how to do it, but they will do it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wow. Gentlemen, if we wanted to talk about problems, we'd be here all day. But I want to say thanks. Your wrap-up comments? Just briefly,
well,
on what we just saw.
Fellow Ghanaians, COVID is real, and
we are talking about Gifi.
and a lot of this is to do with sanitation. So it's important that we keep our environments clean.
All right.
What I've seen here, very horrible, very painful to even think that other human beings are living in that situation. And I mean, the medical person in me is cringing and unhappy about Clefe. And I think we need to do something about it as early as possible.
Thank you so
much.
And
it is unfortunate that people are actually dumping waste there to reclaim land.
Authorities must get hard and serious.
I beg them. Water there's no respect. And they shouldn't try and fight water.
It will lose. Water no get enemy, as fella once said. Dr. Dixon Adomako Kisi is the MP for Anyaso Utum. Mr. Aquinas Kwanzaa, former Central Regional Minister and currently
former MP. Former
MP for Infantiman.
Yeah, man.
And
that one is the most important one.
Former MP and currently a farmer.
A farmer. The farmer is the most important one.
No, gentlemen,
planting for food and job. You
for the way.
For the here is GTV Breakfast. We're back with some good news about the story that we covered yesterday. Big eyes are watching the show and action is about to be taken. Don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming.
Something right here on GTV. Nelson Mandela, another great leader, once said, education is the most powerful weapon with which you can use to change the world. Education is the first step for people to gain knowledge, critical thinking, empowerment, and skills they need to make the world a better place to live in. And International Literacy Day, which falls today, is a UNESCO initiative which began in 1965. This annual celebration started following a recommendation of the World Conference of Ministers of Education at their meeting in Tehran, Iran, in September 1965. The conference recommended that the 8th day of September, the date of the inauguration of the conference, be proclaimed International Literacy Day and observed worldwide. My guests today are both from the Complementary Education Agency, formerly known as the Non-Formal Education Department of the Ministry of Education. Faustina Kabuma is the Public Relations Officer, and Eric Amano is the head of that particular agency. You're both welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, have I promoted you?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm the head of the community outreach unit.
Yes, exactly. Of the complementary education, definitely so. Yeah, thank you. Tell us a little bit about your why the name change from non-formal to complementary education? Because we all know non-formal. I never knew that complementary education was the deal now. What's the name change about?
The name change has come about because it appears as if non-formal education is limited to adult education.
Okay.
But the challenge at hand is more than that. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of gaps in our educational delivery. Along the line, there are a lot of gaps.
Okay.
At the primary level, we have children not being able to go to school. We have out-of-school children. And then also at the GHS level, we have dropouts. When we get to the SHS2, we have dropouts, all of which were not being taken care of under the non-formal education division.
And so now complementary education is embracing all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Faustina, tell me, what's the significance of this particular day, International Literacy Day, at the national level and then globally?
Okay. Good morning to your viewers.
Yes, you can look at me.
The significance of this celebration is just to help bring out the people that are, excuse me to say, unfortunate to go through the formal education, to streamline them and then probably give them some kind of education. And most of these people, you can bear with me, are women in the rural areas. So International Literacy Day is just to educate or bring education to the daughters of the rural folks.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. What's the theme for this year's celebration for the World International Literacy Day?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We have two themes. We have the global theme and also we have the national theme. The global theme is literacy for a human-centered recovery, narrowing the digital divide. And then the national theme is complementary education and human development in the COVID-19 era, the role of digital literacy.
Okay, great stuff. So just gone by, I had a conversation with some politicians who were talking about how COVID was or not impacting Ghana's economy. Just curious though, how has COVID impacted what you do in your agency? What's been the impact?
You bear with me that even at the formal sector, COVID has brought a whole lot of challenges in terms of education delivery. During the time of the start of COVID, students were not going to school, and so is our adult literacy classes or programs. Because of COVID, our facilitators are not able to meet our learners face to face to deliver this education to them. So it has in a way brought about like a break in our classes. We are not able to meet out to them. And then most of the classes have actually halted because of this COVID.
So it's quite a massive impact.
Sure.
Yes. And how have you responded? How has the agency responded to the COVID?
Yeah, what I would say is that the enactment of the Complementary Education Agency Act in 2020 has actually come at the right time, because it has come to open our eyes regarding the pathway to delivering an effective literacy program, also in the COVID-19 era. I would like to add that already we have a radio literacy program in place in the regions. And it's a kind of remote learning system that we have put in place to educate the learners without the one-on-one learning delivery.
Okay.
So that is one way in which we are combating the situation in this era. In addition to that, Complementary Education Agency would also roll out a digital literacy program.
Okay, how will that work?
It will work. We are going to do it gradually.
Is it on phone or is it on TV? When you say digital, what do you mean? How will we access the education?
Yeah, what we are going to do is that we are going to establish community learning centers in the districts. And these learning centers are like educational complexes going to deliver adult education, deliver vocational education or occupational literacy.
Okay.
And in addition also provide digital literacy. All in one place.
It sounds exciting.
Exactly.
Yes,
within the district.
So, and
you want to add something? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, we are trying to upload our primaries online.
Okay.
Yeah, so that the learners at their comfort in their houses can just take their phone. That is, those who have the access to the phone can just go to online and then read the primaries and then make something out of it.
Okay. The complementary education is going high tech.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
With that, it gives us the mandate to operate more. I want to sound this. We are not out with this complementary. We are not out to like compete with the education sector, but we are there to just complement what they are doing.
Okay.
Because with the CEA, we are going to also deal with the children, those who are out of school. We are going to pick them and start with them from scratch, and then they upgrade from levels to levels, even to the university level.
Okay. I'm just curious, though, for the complementary education, what languages are you doing it in?
English.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you can't do complementary education in Chi? Or
We'll do both, yeah.
Let me add.
Yes, please add.
We are going to do complementary education. It doesn't mean that we have thrown away the National Functional Literacy Program.
Yes.
Already, the National Functional Literacy Program is being run in 15 Ghanaian languages, together with English. So that one will still go on. But in addition, we are going to run remedial classes for DHS dropouts, remedial classes for SHS dropouts. And all these classes will be in English. Also, we are going to organize occupational and vocational skills training for basically people within the informal sector, like mechanics, hairdressers, carpenters, masons, and the artisans.
It sounds exciting.
Exactly.
So give us a sense of, as we want to wrap up, what programs and activities you have lined up for this year's International Literacy Day celebration. What should we expect from you?
Well, it has already, we started about 5 days now. It's a week-long program.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and the program is taking place at Techiman.
Okay.
Yes, every year it rotates region to region. And then this year, what actually prompted us sending us to Techiman is that with the Techiman, they have already started almost all the programs that we are going to roll out in the Complementary Education Agency. Really? So we decided to send it there so that other people that will come will see what we are already doing. It's a kind of a pilot program that we have started. And then we started, like I said earlier, it's a week-long program. We had tree planting exercise. During the Greening Ghana project, we did something. We planted some trees across the country. So we took it upon ourselves that, like, as we are celebrating this program, we'll let our coordinators at the various regions revisit the trees that they planted and then see how it's doing as part of the week-long program. We have clean-up exercises that they are doing also there. Then we have other radio programs that they are doing at Techiman there. And then tomorrow will be the climax of the program, that's the 8th of September. And that will be a Deba that will have
at the forecourt of Bono Chimpem Hall tomorrow, starting from 10 a.m. to the time that the program will end.
Okay, great.
Have something.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I would also like to add that we are also rolling out publicity programs and activities. We have put out feature articles in the newspapers. We are also doing publicity on radio by way of announcement and also adverts.
Okay.
We are also running adverts in the newspapers as well.
Okay. For seeing anything you want to say to us, we end. How do people get in touch with your agency? Is there a website, telephone number?
Okay. Our telephone numbers. Our office is around
close to the immigration
headquarters.
Okay, the way you're looking behind us, the office is behind us, you know. I was wondering, hey, is there, do you know about this office, you know?
Maybe you want to move it
you
here.
Want to move it there? You like our place, eh?
Sure.
You like our place. So around immigration?
Yeah, headquarters.
Okay. Complementary Education Agency.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We wish you the very best. And Techiman is when? Is tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. You'll be there?
Sure.
Yes.
From here we are going there.
Okay. We wish you a safe journey.
Okay.
And an enjoyable celebration.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. International Literacy Day. Big things happening in Techiman from tomorrow. And so watch out. Across social media and in the media, you will get information about what is going down as far as international literacy is concerned. Faustina Kabuma is a Public Relations Officer for the Complementary Education Agency, the Ministry of Education. And Eric Amano is the head of the Community Outreach Unit of the same agency, Complementary Education Agency. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful day. We're not happy because Black Stars lost. We're not happy. We're not happy. And I asked, just for the break, I asked a comment on about what are your honest thoughts about the Black Stars. And TJ says 99.999999999999999% of the Black Stars players lack commitment to the national team when on the field of play. It's time to give players who are ready to give their best to the country, to give them the chance. The mediocrity is too much. Hashtag GTV breakfast. And this message is coming from Las Vegas neighborhood, Kaswa. I mean, what kind of country is this? Every part of the world is in this country. We have Russia in Ghana. We have Las Vegas in Ghana. We have Bethlehem in Ghana. We have, where? You name it, Hong Kong in Ghana. What a country, but I love it. We're back with more. Some good news just around the corner. Hashtag GTV breakfast. Stay with us.
Won't be on mine, tell me if where we go now. Hop in my ride, I'll spend and marry, you know the vibe. Baby, you know, you be the one waiting my mind. So baby girl, I ain't tryna waste no time, yeah. You're my friend.
Live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the
If Abazita awo kote ti iti se ya kwasa de kote ne ubremo. Se anje na biya eza se wampaye edinderi yeri saneri ye warawo 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 Sunday, say, I put you on. Your friend, if you pop, if you pop, so you answer. Once I think it's a no, that brand no baby now. It's a one answer for me. I'll catch it for Bongo. If you Bongo, if you Bongo, I'm passing to the hour, put it if it's a young person, it's in the room. Say, I'm dreaming, it's as a moment. I'm buying. Sunday, yeah, wow. 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 Sunday, I said me, well, Yama, Beyond Kuba, Yama, Beyond Kuba, Yama, Beyond Kuba, Yama,
We have an update on the young lady we spoke to yesterday on GTV Breakfast, and she found herself pregnant at 16. She had a baby, and she and her son are now both pupils in the same school. So she leaves her son with the kindergarten session of the school, and then she attends her classes. She's in junior high form 3 to prepare for her BECE exams. That story was brought to public attention by ace Ghanaian photographer Senyo Adadevo, and she posted that on her social media on Facebook. She received loads of responses. GBC News sent a reporter to the school. We followed up on that story, and Clara Mlano did that sit down with Rita Awuni to get the details of her current circumstances and why at 17 she found herself with a 10-month-old baby sleeping on the streets with no family to tend to. So we told you that story. You got back to us offering to help. We've opened our doors, ready to receive help on behalf of Rita Awuni, and help came very quickly. And from the topper part of our democracy, if I can put it that way, the call hit the ears of the presidency. So GBC got results within 24 hours of this lady appearing on our show. We got an answer from the presidency. I just want that to sink in for a minute. Let me say again that we are not doing this to say that teenage pregnancy is encouraged in any way, is acceptable in any way. We are not glorifying teenage pregnancy. We are just highlighting a social issue, the issue of a young underage girl who found herself in dire straits and fell prey to sex that led to pregnancy, that led to her having a baby, and she's on the streets with a 10-month-old. So that's the perspective that we are taking this from. So I've told you that we got the results from the presidency. The vice president has sent a delegation, a one-man delegation, but everyone in the office of the vice president is watching us at this moment, and we have a special aid to His Excellency, the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and that is in the person of Dr. Karibu Tia Mahama. Dr. Mahama, welcome.
Thank you very much.
The Vice President has offered a package, but how did you come to knowledge of Rita's predicament?
All right, thank you very much, and good morning to your cherished viewers. I think the Vice President got the information a few minutes after it was actually brought to my attention. Having served as the aide to the Vice President, when the story was drawn to my attention by GBC, the management of GBC for that matter actually drew my attention to this particular story. So I got the story quickly. The Vice President's attention was also drawn to this particular story. After listening to the story of Miss Rita Awini, the Vice President was virtually moved by the predicament of the young lady, having to fend for herself, having to live on the street, and having to take care of a 10-month-old baby. These were things that he felt that, I mean, on the 21st century Ghana, young ladies, young girls, teens should be going through this. And this was basically what moved him to saying that, you know what, we need to take care of this particular situation whilst we, in the meantime, whilst we call on state agency to the system as the state Ghana to take care of the lady into the future.
Right, and this is very important because even though we are highlighting her particular situation, there are many others who find themselves in positions similar to hers who also need help. So ensuring that the system offers the kind of help that they need is crucial in this case. But what's the Vice President offering? I just want you to tell Ghanaians what the package entails.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, you mentioned that the Vice President believes that the system, or as a country, systems must work and they should cater for some of these particular things when they do come up or when they do crop up. But haven't heard the story, quickly directed that I get in touch with the Department of Social Welfare to see what they could do to support the young lady. But that one of the things that were identified through after you have heard the story was that the lady she has no place to lay the head, and that she has, the Vice President has directed that we get her a nice apartment, the location of her choice, and also closer to her school, where the young lady and the kid could lay their head. So, and also provide her with some foodstuffs and provision. In the meantime, whilst we call on the Department of Social Welfare to integrate it, because the Vice President as well, he's a busy man, he cannot be checking on the young lady having to manage state affairs without of other issues on his decks. So he wants the system, he wants the state Ghana to be able to look out for. In fact, the Vice President did not even stop there. He tried to reach out to the family of the young lady back at the north.
Did you find anyone?
Yeah, the grandmother, I think the young lady would know Mami Soldier or Mami Soldier. That's the grandmother of the lady. And the Vice President tried to get in touch with Mami Soldier. Mami Soldier actually explained the circumstances under which this young lady got herself into this particular situation. Having lost the father, the mother had to come to Accra to more like Kayaye with the young lady. The mother got sick, went back home with her, died along passed on along the process. The lady had to come back to Accra just to fend us. It's a sad story. And so when we got to, and these are people in the northeast region, they are minority tribes in the northeast region. So all that together, created a picture of empathy and sympathy in the mind of the Vice President that prompted his action. So basically, the family is, we were in touch with the family. We are also even looking at how, if the lady wants to reintegrate with the family, because we believe in the idea of fostering. Even if the lady is orphaned, how do we put her in a foster parents rather than putting her on the street on risk?
Because I was about to ask, one of the concerns that viewers expressed to us when we said we needed to find her a place to stay was who was going to supervise her, because at 17 she is underage and she needs to be monitored with her son. So even if we were to find her an apartment, how are we going to ensure that she would be monitored? So fostering is very important. In your engagements with her family, did you get the sense that someone may be willing to move into the apartment with her? Because we don't want to create a situation where we solve one problem and create another. If she has an apartment, she's more likely to have visitors. The father of the child is likely to show up sometimes. We could be looking at something 2.0. if we don't handle this delicately. So what's the plan to ensure that she's monitored in this apartment of her choice that's been offered?
Yeah, I think that in the story of Miss Rita Awini, she mentioned that, I mean, they know where the father of the baby is staying, more or less. The gentleman hasn't come out to own or hasn't more or less refused to accept responsibility for, I mean, getting her pregnant. So one of the options we are looking at, can the family of this particular, I mean, young baby, or the man who got, or the boy, whatever the case might be,
22-year-old, so he's the man.
So the man who got her pregnant, whether it's possible for them to be looking, while she has a pleasure, to be taking care of the baby while the lady is in school. Because most of the things that make people not want to accept responsibility of, I mean, unwanted pregnancy is the sense of responsibility. Will I be able to take care of the literature? Can I take care of the mother in school and all that together? But if we have a certain hand saying, okay, we are paying for your accommodation for the next 1-2 years, you have no place, you have no worry about your accommodation, we are going to provide you with some foodstuffs, so that will take you, and we have a social welfare system to be looking after you. I think that the father of that child, I mean, should come up. The second aspect is the grandmother. The grandmother is, I mean, is the only person that we've been able to identify. Currently, it's a bit difficult for her to leave whatever she's doing up north and come here. But we are looking at all options. If the social welfare system can take care of her and then take care of the child while she's school. And I must say that the Vice President commends her determination that despite the predicament, she is still fighting. And earlier on, there was discussion about complementary basic education, complementary education. This is someone who have said that no, I mean, all is over. But she didn't say that she is still fighting to be part of the educational system. So we are looking at all the options to ensure that at least we don't solve one problem and create another problem at the end of the day.
Certainly. You can join this conversation. Our WhatsApp line is on your screen. It's 05555-61034, 05555-61034. Send your comments. We got results for the young teenage mother who is homeless and sleeps on the streets with her 10-month-old son. The Vice President has intervened in the matter and they are sending her help. So this is the story that Clara Mlano followed up on for GBC News, and she followed Rita to school. She watched her activities during the day, how she leaves class to come and look after her child in between, and all with the view to just get an education. And so many of your hearts were touched by this story, and you reached out asking us to help. Our management of GBC also reached out, called on persons we knew could be of assistance, and the Vice President has come up with a package to get Rita an apartment close to her school so she can finish and she can write her BECE. They're in touch with her family as well, and Rita is with us in the studio once again this morning. Rita, good morning. Thanks for coming back.
Good morning, madam.
I can see tears in your eyes as you listen to the offer from the Vice President. What does all this, how significant is getting an accommodation for you? How would it help you in your daily life with the boy?
It will help us a lot.
To say amunya dino, ebebo pa. Kwan benso.
Nshota enkai. Ana ebet menya baby pass so no ma dware no mind fine. Baby I want nshota ina baby nja. It's never boy baby pa.
Na wo ho no na ye wo se asem ne ba ya ye ka no. So with him or mam pinya be di etire Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. What in nka?
Atini di ba mi da.
Unim so ye Vice President e wo ko o ma ye mu.
Pata.
Uyi o ma peni na nado danko ekufu ado fi ho a ono e na eye dia odi nechi.
Ajai.
Sisi a ono na ode ne nsa atoso se obeboa o. Na eno na ye o sen.
Pata me de.
Eye o de.
Pata.
or say or my friend won an hour a crassy. Na una na so aka asem ni nyina trewo na una na woni ni na setina tete
na me na setina but o sorry anopa onya tam hwem yoko efu maji se numere no beba na me kom no so my sister wan ti ni mama me o tumi kwa sorry o me down for na o ka chom say me ma konkran aba ko fanyi si aba me ba so ma fa kunu anka
Pase woti ase de enti ana omobo efu no se anka akwala de wo behwe wadesua so ana wo behwe wadwuma so na saa ase na wo kofa bre mo no na eye ferry ma omo se wote saa point na se enti se si ano efutu be na wo de ma wankasa wo ho
me futu am de ma mo no se anya e na edi kan de me besu anya sa me mento so mi no
because nipa bebre di omo nsa ahase se omo beboa na de ebe ya ka ne se emwa ne beba na afa die wa ma mpenifo ne nyina enim egu ase enti ye de mpaibo betai wichi mame headmistress in kasa Auntie Ernestina.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday you were here with your lady.
Yeah.
And you're hearing the package that the vice president has offered. How does that make you feel?
In fact, I'm so excited. I'm very, very happy. All that I wanted for Rita was a shelter, a place she can call a home to take care of herself and the baby. I take this opportunity to say thank you to my wonderful ladies who came up with the story.
Come join us. Come join us. So Clara is joining us and Senye is also joining us. You remember the photographer who initially brought this issue up to public knowledge, and she captured those scenes that quickly went viral on social media that highlighted Rita's problem. Senye, thanks so much for joining us. Yesterday we spoke to you on Zoom and you explained why you were moved to tell Rita's story.
Yes.
Listening to how far it has come now, what would you say? What more would you add? Is this all you wanted?
I'm humbled. I'm humbled. I'm so humbled, and that's all I can say. I'm humbled. And my focus was not to make Rita a one-night celebrity. I wanted an impact made in her life. I want to see Rita go to school, go to university. In fact, I want to see something, an impact in someone's life, not to make Rita an internet sensation. So I'm so humbled. Thank you to your office. And I prayed, like I heard you as I was coming. I heard you in the car saying that you're going to be monitoring. That is what we need. We need to see this come to a very conclusive result, not even end, result. Rita, thank you so much. I love your spirit. And my cheer is not good, but I heard you said you're not proud of the situation. We are not here to encourage you to go for two. So please, don't put me to shame. If you don't come out well, everybody will say, I just made everybody give you things and you didn't come out well. So please, don't disgrace me, okay?
Madam.
Thank you.
Thank
Clara,
you.
Okay, woman.
When you got the call from the office to follow this story, you didn't even know that it would end this way.
Not at all.
You
no.
never expected
Not
this.
at all.
What did you expect, and how does that match with the reality that you are seeing today?
I was just expecting that probably we'll get a little package to support the teachers to continue taking care of it. I didn't know it was going to become such a big...
Explode.
That's the word, explode, and then get help from every corner.
But from the perspective of a photojournalist and then from the perspective of a reporter, when a story comes almost full circle like this, because we don't know the end, it's really the beginning for a new chapter for Rita.
Yeah.
What should we learn? What lessons should we learn from this whole encounter with telling Rita's story and the support that she's about to receive?
I believe journalism is about driving social change and development. So no matter the story, just sit back, do your groundworks, and then just go ahead and report it as it is. You don't know what will come out of it. No story is bad. Every story is relevant. It just depends on how you package it and put it out there.
And both of you relied on your experiences as mothers.
Yes.
Even Clara, you as a single mother, you spoke to us yesterday and you said, look, at my age I struggle
to
make sure my child is safe and protected. So for her to do this at that age, what should we tell other teenagers who are tempted by circumstances to, you know, accept such office, which for example, ended Rita
in the first place? Is the circumstance, because they lack several things. But they should just refrain from premarital sex. It wouldn't help in any way. We are not able to take care of ourselves, let alone another one. So please refrain, abstain.
What do you add?
Well, like you said, this is like your question was, how do you feel? We get to know, this story has really taught me that Ghana can work. Ghana would work, and that people are still there to buy the human story. We are just not there for the sensational stories, fashion. People would see the human's face to a story and buy it. That Ghana has individuals that can come together and work. And so I'm humbled. And for the teenage issue, the thing is that whether you teach or you don't teach, there will still be that issue.
They know.
So then the system, there has to be systems. I think my mom was saying this the last time. If, for example, if whoever impregnated a young lady is older, if there is a serious retribution, if there's a serious stern punishment, older men will stay away, because mostly it's hardly the case that you find that Rita's age mate was the one who impregnated her.
Someone older.
It's always someone older. So if there's a stern punishment, there's a stern retribution, people will stay away. Right? So, and I thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Ladies,
I think we are focusing so much on the young girls. How about the boys? We should have a conversation about that. Train them.
Because they are equally abused. It's just that we don't see it coming out as pregnancy. But younger men are also raped. A lot of young men with AIDS.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And thank you, ladies, for bringing this matter to our attention and for pursuing such good journalism. Doctor, how soon should we expect her to get off the streets? Is she getting out tonight?
If she gets a place today, she will move out of the street today.
Okay.
I think it's not an issue. It's an issue of where
she wants. So when we leave the studio, you are going with them, you are going to make sure that she's settled today.
Exactly.
I'll throw you a challenge. Get her settled in, send us pictures or videos, and then tomorrow morning we'll come and show you evidence that she's not on the streets anymore because the vice president has intervened.
And Rita, not to cut you, you know, it's beautiful that the office of the vice president has intervened, but let's not forget the good people of Ghana. A lot of people have sent donation from 20 Ghana to 400 Ghana. The director of prisons was the second person to send money. There's a lady, I'm trying to call her to get her name and mention. There are lots of people. Even before the vice president, a lady called and said she's paying 3 years accommodation for her, and that she doesn't think she should sell. She should rather concentrate on school. 600 for a month, every month for accommodation, 400 for her upkeep, so she doesn't have to sell. She should concentrate on schooling. So the good people of Ghana too,
everybody is interested in seeing that you succeed. Here's a message. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thanks for all the support, especially Madam Headmistress. Rita, try hard to achieve your dreams. God bless. This is comfort from Nima. We're not encouraging others to do this. I keep saying, Rita, what would you want to say to the Vice President? Dr. Baumia Sesia.
So I'm waiting. I can't even say no. Sombu pa me dana si we me free me how ni ne. Na me shiro nya okese. Da wasi bebre.
Mr. Vice President, thank you so much from all of us, from management of GBC, for listening to the story of this young girl and being touched. You've sent the good doctor here to make this offer on your behalf. We are grateful. The entire team is grateful, from Senyu to Clara. The headmistress is grateful. And Rita has also expressed her gratitude to you. We'll follow up with this story. We will not let it slide, and we'll continue to mobilize and put all your resources together. All those of you who are interested in sending help, we are always available. Contact our WhatsApp number after the program. Do call, let us know what you have to offer, and we'll try and arrange with you to make sure it gets to to Rita. So this is the story that we all wanted to see this morning, that there was a problem that was highlighted on GTV Breakfast, and it got results from the office of the Vice President. So there's hope. We wish Rita well. Samson is somewhere in the background. We don't want him to to keep talking. He's a talker, isn't he? And we wish you well. And we'll be back to continue GTV Breakfast. Don't go anywhere. There's more ahead.
Thank you.
Yadimpa, walking swap, Yadimpa, if he said, Yahoo, and no one know me. Oh, yeah, Papa, oh, yeah, fa, oh, yeah, fa, oh, yeah, fa, oh, yeah, body, oh, yeah, fa, you know me. And say, Wara, if you do good, you do for yourself. If you do bad, you do for yourself. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, body, oh yeah, you know me. Wara. If you do good, you do for yourself. If you do bad, you do for yourself. I see you. They say we are Papa, we are fa, we are fa, we are fa, we are born in Sua, we are fa. If you do good, you do for yourself. If you do bad, you do for yourself. Messia say it is way, Miniano, a Kukura, a Chani one baby, a Chani one place in the cheap. It's Moya, Jadimpa, what drinks are Jadimpa. Oh yeah, Papa, oh yeah, fa, oh yeah, fa, oh yeah, fa, oh yeah, body, oh yeah, fa. You know me, let's say, Wara. If you do good, you do for yourself. If you do bad, you do for yourself. Get off it, Papa, your head, your head, your head, off it.
GTV Breakfast 055-556-1034. Beautiful story involving Rita Awuni, and thanks to the Vice President. Now we're going to talk about WWW. It's not World Wide Web. It's Waste Wood Works. And I can even add a fourth one. WWW. Waste Wood Works wonderfully. What am I talking about? You're about to see stuff that's made from stuff that you throw away. And the person who gathers all the stuff and makes it into something even useful for people to appreciate works of art is none other than my good friend Yao Boating, also known as Zozo, who describes himself as a creative arts entrepreneur. Yao, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother.
What is a creative arts entrepreneur, and what are you doing messing around with?
Well, a creative arts entrepreneur is somebody who creates at the same time being able to bring it to the forefront to market it for other people to appreciate it.
Okay.
So it's not like I just create and then hide behind the scene, because there's a lot of artists that hide behind the scene. They create for other people to take it to the forefront. But what I do is I create and I take it to the forefront to tell the story of what I've created.
Okay, we'll talk about why you are working with Wastewood, but let's get a glimpse of your life from Ghana to New Zealand and back to Ghana.
All right. That's a roller coaster, man.
Yes.
Well, I was a teacher at the age of 21 years old in Ghana here. I was a maths and social studies teacher at JSS. But somewhere along the line, the age 25, 26 there, I disappeared to New Zealand. New Zealand is the last country in the world.
Yes.
So I went to school over there. I went to study international communication. But somewhere along the line, I branched into radio journalism. But while I was a student, my first job I got was on the same campus, which is called Unitec, Institute of Technology in New Zealand. I was a drum teacher in the middle of nowhere. I was with a wooden drum, and I teach drumming.
What, Agbaja and things like that?
Yes. I play Agbaja, I play Kinka, I play almost all the traditional pieces from Ghana and other part of West Africa. So as I was a student, I was teaching that. But then I moved on from being just teaching into a band. So there was a band in New Zealand called Dahu. It was owned by a white guy who had come to Ghana to study 29 years ago. Yeah, so the guy told me to join the band, and I joined the band. I was the only black man in the band, and I played a band for 3.5 years. And we opened for late James Brown, 2007, in St. James Theatre in New Zealand.
Nice.
And then, so, you know, the man got tired a little bit, so I took over and I created a band called Zozo. And that band was in New Zealand for almost 13, 14 years. I played almost all the jazz festivals around the whole of New Zealand. I've driven to almost every part in New Zealand, southwest, northeast, everywhere.
Where did the wood come into it?
Yes. So that is the story. That's what I said, the roller coaster. So, you know, I was full-fledged in music, everything. And I've been teaching in schools, primary, intermediate, and university, different campuses. Then 2009, I came to Ghana. And I came with the passion that I haven't grabbed the knowledge of the whole traditional music yet. So I came and I did a research work for a year, just studying a little bit of pieces. Went back to New Zealand again, came back 2013 with a passion that I'm coming to drive the music scene in Ghana. That was why I came. So I came and I opened a show for, the late Hugh Masekela.
Yeah, may rest in peace.
Yes. But when I came with passion and everything, you know, I was like, it looks like my style of music. I had an Afro-fusion beat. My style of music and the people over here, you know, it wasn't probably jiving. I think the timing was not right. So I struggled with it a little bit, and I went back to New Zealand. But I had then sort of like done with New Zealand. I've been there for 14 years, and I feel like I have enough in me to come and impact my world.
Right.
So there was nothing again for me in New Zealand. I was just cruising through now. So I was like, nah, I can't do it again. I have to come back. So when I came back to Ghana, I was just looking for the next phase of my life, whether I was going to carry on with the music, full-fledged, or do something else. But I took my sister to a chef school, and my sister completed the school. So when I came, we said, oh, I finished the school, so what should I do? I want a job from here, I want a job from here. And I was like, you know what? This neighborhood where we are now, there's nobody cooking. So what I want you to do is to cook.
So she went to cook.
She went to cook.
Where did the wood come?
The wood is coming.
I want it to come.
Yes, so when she went to cook, she started cooking. I said, when you cook and the food is gone, I'll do something special for you. So first week the food was gone. Second week the food was gone. I said, gee, you know what? I'm going to build a little table for my sister using wastewood. So I did.
Where did you get the wastewood from?
I went round because when I was in Ghana, I was already looking out into the bigger space of almost all the opportunities around. I see the wood every time, but it wasn't put into any use. But I was like, you know, New Zealand is a full-fledged wooden country. So all my life, wood is around me. So now seeing that wood, it's like I can do something with it. But I never thought I was going to take it to the higher level like this. So I did the stuff for my sister. And people walk around and they say, who did this? Who did this? Sometimes I'll be in the room, somebody will come to my mom and say, Broni biti fi na. So then the story keeps changing.
Did you study carpentry in school?
No.
How did you, well, how were you able to make a table?
Brother, I surprise myself sometimes when I look at my own creation. I get good people. The stuff in my head, I don't even know. Bro, that's a different level of reasoning.
Okay.
So when I did that, then people come around and say, oh, you know what? I like this table. Oh, can you do one for me? Can you do one for me? Can you do one for me?
And all from waste wood?
And all from waste wood.
How do you gather the waste wood?
So I go around and I tell the guys, yo, you know, can I buy this wood? I started from Spinters Road, around the Coca-Cola roundabout. And I keep buying from him, and the guy asked me, now, who got an own cover soon? And I'm saying, got a bang. I said, the cover got a so. And I'm saying, no.
You thought you were going to use the wood to cover that?
Yes.
And you've made all kinds of things, furniture, pieces, a food truck also.
A food truck, and I'm building a cruise ship as we talk now.
Made from wood?
Made from wood.
Why?
Because, one, the wood itself is a good wood. It just ends up at our shore as we see it as waste because it's a shipping material. They use it for packaging. So I have seen those type of wood in my other part of the world and know the importance of the wood.
So you're bringing your experience from New Zealand to bear on what you do here in Ghana.
Thank you. So because I've seen the wood, well, when I was a student, I pick up odd jobs. So I work at construction site, I work at different places. So I've laid my hands on a cutting machine before. I've laid my hands on a spraying machine before. But it wasn't something that I was training to be. I was in a different realm. I was doing that only just to support myself as a student. Okay? But here I find myself that this is what I was just going to do for my sister. But when I put up the product became a magic.
So what happens? You sell this stuff?
Yes. When people come, they look at the stuff and they say, oh, I want the same thing. And I say, okay, let me go get more wood.
What is the strangest thing you do? Like, do you get like customer requests for people to build, for you to build something from wood?
Yes.
What's the strangest request you've had?
The thing is, let me tell you this. I did a cart, a mobile cart. And the cart was the first thing I built for my sister as a bar. Now there was this journalist from New York Times who was going around the world taking photos. So we bumped into this guy and the guy wanted to come and take a photo of my cart. He did. And the photo appeared in the New York Times.
Nice.
So then I told myself, I think I have given birth to a new thing. So creatively, I was in the music field. I have to take all my juices from the music field onto the other side.
How has the music influenced your woodwork?
Look, I think because music is art. It has texture, it has color, it has everything. So what you do is, I write for almost all instruments. Saxophone, trumpet, guitar, bass, I write all that. So when I came into the wood industry, all I do is just put pieces together. Remember, I was a math teacher at the age of 21. So calculation is not my problem. Measurement is not my problem. And I'm very good with precision. So doing music too, you got to be very mathematical, sequence, variations. So everything just plays very well. And that is how it comes. But coming back to how people ask for, weird stuff.
Custom pieces, yeah.
Custom pieces. This is what has landed me in what I'm doing now as the cruise ship.
You're doing a cruise ship?
Yes, I'm doing a cruise ship on land.
How big is this cruise ship?
This is 70 feet by 50 feet wide.
Man, that looks like Noah's Ark.
Well, it is called the Ark. It is the new Ark in Africa.
Wow, and there it is. Wow. And so this is going to be a restaurant?
Yes, this is going to be a restaurant.
On the land?
Yes, on the land.
Okay, where will it be located, do you know?
It's already in Ashalibutre. So you get to School Junction, from East Legon to School Junction, you make a left turn heading towards Medina. And it's like 600 meters from the School Junction on your right-hand side.
And this is all wastewood?
This is all wastewood, 95% wastewood, 5% Ghanaian wood.
Okay, and then how many people are helping you to build this ship?
I build this with artisans with no skill.
You teach them?
Yes.
How many of them?
3.
And how long have you been building the ship?
I started January.
Okay.
And I went off break for about 6 weeks. And I came back to it again.
When will the ship be done?
The ship will gonna be start late October, pre-opening.
Okay.
Yes.
If I want a similar ship in my hood, how much should I be looking at?
Well, should we be talking back doors now? Because,
we are already back doors.
A a range. I mean, you have to be looking at, because this is a lot of work. If you look at the artistic design, I don't throw any wood away.
No.
Anything off-cut pieces, I use it to create other stuff. So depending on where you are coming from and the quality you are looking for, you must be looking around, you know, something like 200,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
You know, and then you are getting an edifice, which is like, you wouldn't even know how to say it.
What was your first job when you started working?
In New Zealand?
No, here in Ghana.
Here in Ghana?
Yes.
My first job, like creating something.
Yes.
I created for a lady called Jifa.
Okay.
Yes. And she saw the product and said, oh, I want the same thing in my room.
Okay. She's not called Jifa Day, by the way.
No, she's not called Jifa Day.
My wife is Jifa Day. All right. And what did you build for? What did you create for?
I built a couch for her.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
a couch for her.
Okay.
And she still has the same couch. This is for about 4 or 5 years now.
We're wrapping up. What do you tell people who disrespect people who use their hands to make a living like you're doing?
Yeah, I think that, how do you call it? It's just Africa hasn't got the whole way of bringing us to, I don't know how to say it. Technology and industrialization is the key issue now for where the world is going. So we have trained a lot of bureaucrats in Africa. We haven't trained enough technocrats. That is why we are facing so many challenges. We don't have solutions to problems, because every problem we have in the technical world or the industrial world, it has to be solved by a Western nation. So we need to take our technical and vocational industry seriously. People don't realize that these trades are the trades in the West that are very expensive. If a plumber is coming to your house, you'll be scared. Yes. If a carpenter is coming to your house, you'll be scared. If a mason is coming to your house, you'll be scared. So my thing is, technology, industrialization is the key to drive our nation now.
Awesome.
I say something that's, let's clean the street. Clean the street, put every child or a youth who has finished JSS to go into some apprenticeship and learn a skill. Either be a mason, or be a carpenter, or be a metal man, something. I don't build with only wood. If you saw the video, you saw the food truck. I built a whole metal chassis. And I built a food truck. I put solar in it. I put water in it. I put almost everything. A full-fledged kitchen on wheels.
Where can we find you on social media?
Yabuating.
Yabuating.
Yes,
so,
on Facebook.
All right,
I'm very lazy with Instagram.
Okay, but
yes.
But Facebook, you're there.
Facebook, I'm there.
And that's your number right there for
yes,
Lifestyle
this is
Creations.
my business card.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, this is the biggest, heaviest business card I've seen.
You see, as builders, we are not able to handle a lot of things. We break phones and we do a lot of things.
So this is your business card?
It's my business
card. It's a huge one.
I love it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for appearing on the show. I mean, how is artistry different from carpentry? We know carpentry. Is it the same thing?
It is the same thing, but I call myself a builder.
Okay.
So a builder, you understand the whole construction from metal, from concrete, from wood to almost everything.
Impressive.
You understand it.
Impressive. Impressive.
Thank
you.
We should jam together. She sings really well. You know?
Yeah.
Her mother was a great, wonderful singer, and I play keyboard too. So we should jam.
Okay, cool.
We should jam.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So that's Yabuating, a creative arts entrepreneur. Look out for his cruise ship on land at Ashalibuche. Yes, and then it was made by. And find him, follow him on Facebook. All right. I want to end with the quote from Kwame Nkrumah. It says, "To govern or misgovern yourself is better than to be governed by somebody else." You agree, right?
And we are celebrating the Osajifo this month of September. His birthday is later on in the month, and we want to celebrate all things in Nkrumah. A quick happy birthday shout from 10 Lennox Akpete GBC News to Philip Kudamenu. He says, belated happy birthday. So we wish you well.
All right, and follow Yabuating on Facebook. That's the number right there. Take it, follow him, and let's do all things useful with the things that people seem to throw away. Thanks very much. Have a beautiful day. God bless.